Tackle Junkies, what's going on, everyone? Really appreciate you guys and gals for clicking on the video. My dude Big Mike, my firstborn, which you guys seen years ago, Vinny, hasn't fished in 5-6 years, and he's been out a handful of times the last couple weeks. He's getting back into it, and he needs a few combos, okay? And obviously me and Mike are a little more experienced when it comes to gear and what equipment you need for certain baits. Vinny doesn't really get, like when we say, hey, we want to throw this bait, but we need this rod or this line, he don't really get why. So I kind of wanted to make this video really for him or anyone else just getting into fishing. So that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna run with these 4 combos, why we picked them, and what you guys should take away from this video really is not so much rod length. I mean, a lot of that is personal preference, but once you try to dial in a technique that you really like, then you can kind of go like a good example, spinner baits. Like over here for our fluorocarbon combo, we got a 7-footer. I like a 6'8" or 6'10", just because I'm more target fishing with spinner baits. I like to be up close and things like that. So when you really figure out what technique you like, then you can fine tune it a bit more. These combos are more like do all, real versatile type combos. And so yeah, what we should take away from this really is probably rod power in action, line type, maybe gear ratio, you know, the speed of the reel. I think that would really help out a newbie like this dude right here. Okay, so we came up with 4 combos. First combo is our braid combo. Mike, when we use braid, dude?
For frogs.
Frog fishing, man. Really, we don't have a ton of vegetation where we fish, but if there's any at all and we're using frogs, we're using braid. Really for me, frogs and swim jigs is about the only time that I use braid. This is a 50-pound Seaguar Smackdown, Stealth Gray. I'd say anywhere from 40 to 50-pound test is a great starting point. If you're around like super thick cover, you got big bass, you may want to step it up to 65. But really for me, I mean, all I've ever used for frog fishing is 40, 50-pound test. Never had any issues with it at all. So that's a great starting point. 40 to 50-pound test. Again, Seaguar Smackdown. Agree, Mike?
Yep.
Okay. For the rod, this particular one here, this is a Kistler Chromium. And again, don't really pay too much attention to the exact rod. Pay more attention to the specs. Okay, this one here is Kistler Chromium. It's a heavy, medium heavy. So basically how Kistler does it, it's a heavy, but on the softer side. Okay, so I would just say a heavy power rod. This is a fast action, anywhere from a mod fast to a fast. Typically I like a heavy power with some tip. Okay, again, this one's a 7.2. Really whatever length you like. I would say really probably 7-footer to like a 7.3 is a good choice for a frog rod, or even like a braid rod in general, you know. But keep in mind, if you're going to toss frogs with it, if you're a shorter dude, okay, when you're working the frog,
I'm not doing anything.
if you're a shorter dude, when you're working the frog, you might be slapping the water. Okay, so keep that in mind as well, or even smacking the boat if you're on a boat. So typically for me, I do like a 7-footer. 7.2 is about my max. I don't really like much longer than that.
Yeah.
Agree? Then you probably agree with that?
I agree.
Agree. Okay, so heavy power, mod fast to a fast action. Again, I just like something heavy with a bit of tip. Okay, 7 to 7.2 is kind of my preference. As far as the reel goes, this is the Bantam. I want to say it's a 7-speed, or they got that on here, yeah, 7.1. Okay, and I would say for frog fishing, I want a fast reel, but I don't want too fast. Okay, just because the faster you go, the less power you have. I'd say 7 speeds, kind of right there in the middle. I wouldn't go 6, I wouldn't go 8, me personally. Some guys love super fast reels for frogs. Again, the faster you go, you lose power. So I'd go with like a 7-speed reel. So it's fast enough to catch up to them if you need to, and it's still got plenty of power. Next up is our, I would say cranking combo, but we're gonna say this is our treble hook combo. So crankbaits, top waters, you know, poppers, walking baits, things like that. Okay, so let's talk about line. Okay, and we chose a mono, and the reason we chose mono, now obviously if you have a bunch of combos. You can go fluorocarbon for cranking, and you can go, mono or braid for top water. But we're just saying you got one treble hook combo. So I picked mono just because you can use mono for top water and for crankbaits, okay? Your fluorocarbon is a sinking line. So if you throw a popper out there with fluorocarbon, you're only gonna get so many twitches out of it before that line starts to sink and it'll kind of drag the nose down. So you really want mono or a braid for top water, but you can still use the mono with crankbaits where you really can't use the fluorocarbon with top water, right? Yep. So we got 14-pound test. This is mono. I believe it's Suffolk Siege, one of my favorite monos, but this is a good all-around combo for any of your treble hook type baits. Crankbaits, square bills, lipless, poppers, walking baits, things like that. So that's why we went with the mono. It just makes the combo more versatile, okay? The rod, this is a 7-footer. This is a Akuma Guide Select. It's a cranking rod. It's a medium power with a moderate fast action. So it's a very limber rod, very soft. Okay, with the medium power and the mod fast action, that softer rod is going to basically help you fight and land the fish. Okay, so 7-footer, medium, 7-footer, medium, mod fast action. Okay, as far as the reel speed goes, now this one here, I use this one for top water. So this particular reel is an 8-1, I believe. Where do they have it on here, Mike? Yes, and this one is an 8-1. Again, I use this one specifically for top water, but if I'm cranking, I'd go 6-speed. It's a little slow for me on the top water side, but if you're looking for a versatile combo, again, I'd go with the 6-speed. You can go 7. For me, that's a bit too fast to crank. So I feel a 6-speed, like a 6.3, 6.4, is a good all-around combo for your treble hooks. You can crank with it, and you can throw your top waters and things like that. I want to give a big shout out to my dudes over there at Boat Effects. If you guys need a set of steps for your boat trailer, definitely check them out. Great group of guys over there, make a great product with great customer service as well. I got a discount code for you guys as well, which I'll put on the screen, link them down below. Definitely check them out for all of your step needs. Combo 3 is our fluorocarbon combo. This one here is probably the most versatile of them all, okay? You can do so many different things with fluorocarbon. Basically, almost all of my combos are fluorocarbon except for my top water and my frogs. Everything else I'm running fluorocarbon. The only thing that's really changing is gear ratios and the rods, okay? So this combo right here, fluorocarbon combo, 15-pound CR and VizX. I've been using that line for many, many years. Ton of confidence in it, super versatile. That 15-pound test has a very small diameter, so you can get away with a bigger line, which is going to be stronger, obviously, and you can still get away with throwing smaller or lighter weights on it. So I love the 15-pound test for like a do-all pound test fluorocarbon. Like I said, very versatile with a smaller diameter, okay? So that's the line, 15-pound test, Seaguar and VizX. Like I said, super versatile from Texas rigs, jigs, spinner baits, bladed jigs, buzz baits, flukes, weightless Senkos, underspins,
you name it.
You name it. I mean, it's a very versatile line. And when you pair it up with a medium heavy fast, is that what you paired this one up with, Mike? Watch him pair it up with something else. Yeah, medium heavy fast action, okay? 15-pound fluorocarbon, medium heavy fast action. That is a very versatile combo. Like Vin said, pretty much anything, right, dude?
You name it.
You name it, you can toss it on this combo. Now, what do you have here, Mike? Mike's got a 7-speed on it, okay? Me personally, when I have a combo that can do as much as this one here, I personally like a 6-speed. Just because I can always speed it up, I can slow it down. But if I'm going to throw a lot of moving baits on here, like spinner baits and buzz baits, bladed jigs, I do like that 6-speed because I feel I'll reel them too fast with the 7. If I'm gonna have a dedicated rod to work the bottom with Texas rigs and jigs, I'm using the rod to work the bait, then I like the 7 just because I'm using the reel to pick up slack. I don't have to worry about overworking the baits. So for me, to have a reel to do everything, I would prefer like a 6-speed reel. Okay. What do you think, Mike?
Mm-hmm.
The one you got 7 under.
For Texas rigs, for slack and
Okay,
line.
so this is, you just basically use this one
For Texas rigs.
for Texas rigs,
Yeah.
okay? But like I said, Ben, this is a very versatile combo.
100%.
Having that 15-pound test fluorocarbon, medium, heavy, fast. This is a 7-footer. Again, once you dial in a combo, you know, if you realize you like a 7.3 or you like a 6.10, you can do that later. But a 7-footer is a good place to start, good do-all type combo here. 4th combo, spinning combo, also fluorocarbon, okay? So we've covered braid, which is our frogs, mainly our grass rod or frog rod, right? Frog combo. We covered mono, which is our cranks, top water, treble hooks.
Yeah.
We covered a fluorocarbon combo, which is basically a do-all type combo. And this is another fluorocarbon, but it's a lighter fluorocarbon to handle, you know, all the finesse, lighter weight techniques. You know, like wacky rigs, drop shot, shaky head, Nico rig, Mojo rig.
I don't know.
Okay. So the lighter weight finesse techniques with this combo here. Now, I do believe Mike stole this reel from me, so I'm pretty sure this is 12-pound test Tatsu on here. I say if you're gonna run straight fluorocarbon, 10 to 12-pound test is a great starting point. I love the Seaguard just because the line diameter is very small. So I can get away with a heavier pound test and still have a small diameter line. I don't have to really worry about break-offs too much because again, 12-pound is very small in diameter. Okay, so love the Seaguard, love the small diameter. So again, 10 to 12-pound test, great starting point. If you want to be, you know, a braid to leader guy, you can go that route as well. Me personally, I'm not at the moment, something I want to get into, but I just prefer straight fluorocarbon. Again, 10, 12-pound test, great starting point. The rod, this is a 7'1" medium power fast action. And this rod loads at a 1/16, maxes out at a 1/2. So again, this will handle all your lighter weights and finesse techniques, okay? And I say anywhere from that range, you know, 7 foot to like 7'2", 7'3". I do like the shorter rod, 7 foot to 7'1". I like being a little more accurate just because of the water clarity I'm fishing. For the most part, it's pretty stained to dirty. So I'm always aiming for targets, whether it be a dock post, a stump, you know, lay down, whatever. So I tend to lean towards a shorter rod, so I'm a bit more accurate. So anyways, this one's a 7'1", 7 foot, 7'1", somewhere in that range is what I like. Use what you prefer, but that's definitely a great starting point as well. And as far as the reel goes, as far as the speed of spinning reels, you don't really have a ton of options. There are some fast ones out there, but for the most part, they're fairly slow. This one here is a 6 speed. I'd say they probably average around the 5 to 6 speed for the most part. I don't know, he don't know, I'm asking him, but like I said, this one here is probably one of the more faster ones, 6 speed. But yeah, so get whatever one that you want. But like I said, you don't have a ton of speed options in spinning reels for the most part. But this is a 3,000 size spool, okay? Usually there's like 1,000, 2,000, 2,500, 3,000, 4,000. Years ago, I used to run the 4,000 size spools just because the spool itself obviously is bigger and you had less line issues out on the water just because the coils themselves were bigger. When you start getting them smaller spools, the line coils are smaller, and that can cause, you know, more headaches, you know, more line memory and all that. So I tend to lean towards a bigger spool. 3,000 for the most part is what I use now. And that should cover it for our 4 combos for a beginner. Really anybody wanting to get into bass fishing, I mean, them 4 combos basically got you covered.
Yeah.
And once you start fishing and you start figuring out different lures that you like and different techniques that you love, then you can really fine tune that with a shorter rod or a longer rod or different pound test or, you know, whatever the case may be. You figure out what works for you, make those adjustments, and then it'll work even better for you. But I think what we gave you here is a great starting point. If I watch this video back and you guys are like doing stupid crap the whole video.
I'm not.
Yes, you are. Anyways, guys, you never know what the 2 clowns are doing. I'm more focused on the video, not seeing what they're doing. But guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully you learned something. And that should wrap it up. Vinny, now if you rewatch this video, you can figure out what you need to do.
I will. I'll make sure we watch it.
Yeah, I'm sure you will.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We love you. If you enjoyed the video, smash the thumbs up. And we will see you guys on the next one. If you're still here, I think you're watching this video on Wednesday. This dude's birthday. He's 18.
18.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's how we'll know who watched the entire video. Let's see a little happy birthday to Vinny down in the comments. All right? You guys are awesome. Love you.
Wait. Benji. You
Want to say hi to the camera? Go.
He's sleeping.
You want to say hi to the
Seriously.
camera? Come here.
There's our golden doodle Benji.
Yep.
We thought he was going to be 40 pounds, and he's
100 pounds.
105 pounds. All right, guys. We're out. Love you. See you on the next one.